bit of it anyway. I've tried to post some VODs and stuff to YouTube about fighting games, some of my own personal adventures, maybe some tips and tricks if I can come up with it. And the purpose of this video is for all my boys in the Colorado FGC, as well as anyone else who happens to stumble on this video, going through the ways that you want to be playing Vegito. Vegito is arguably my favorite character in this game, not in all of Dragon Ball, but he's just the one I have like the most fun playing in this game. Goku is my favorite character, let that say about me what it will, but Vegito is just so interesting and unique within the identity of the game that I want to kind of share things, because you could tell the good Vegitos and the bad Vegitos really quickly in a lot of things. And Vegito is a very quirky character that can be difficult to understand, but once I've been playing him for months, I've even took an entire monthly tournament with him. That was the September Colorado Akihabara monthly, so I was pretty happy about that one. And there was with a team, it's not this team pictured right here, I just have Gotenks put on the team. The usual team I run is Vegito, Adult Gohan, and Gotenks. I'll switch over the other teams, I just want to show one thing with Gotenks fairly early on. So, without further ado, let's kind of get talking about Vegito. So, what is your overall game plan with Vegito? Because I feel like before I go into anything like combos, like cool little things, it's best to understand why should you be picking Vegito. Well, the reason that you should be picking Vegito in this game is because you want to have the best battery in the game. Vegito builds so much meter and does above average damage with his combos that you are just tapping into a source to then dump meter later on into the enemy team. It's ridiculous. He also has a very strong neutral game. A lot of it has to do with just how good a lot of his normals are, the infamous 5 of L being one of them, of course. So, with all these things put together, you're playing a neutral, strong character that doesn't really rely on mix-ups. You just kind of outspace, outmaneuver the enemy and catch them in the opening. But when you do, you convert it into a lot of meter. So, when you have that idea, what kind of characters can you really pair with Vegito? Well, one thing you don't really have to do with Vegito is look for like a lot of assist stuff, because Vegito, since he lacks a jump H that knocks down, like I can show you real fast here, you do jump H here, it doesn't knock down and launches the enemy sideways, so since a lot of the assists in the game are grounded, you're not going to really combo off of them like that, so Vegito doesn't really go for assist extensions in his combos, save for like a few very niche cases. There's a few assists that like you can do to get extra damage, like here. This is a little wild for me to do. Actually, I think if I just do it like this. Kind of showing some earlier combo stuff. No, it's too early. See, I've never practiced this particular route before. But like something like Gotenks assist, where you're like just up in the air. Let me do the full combo here. But since, oh my gosh, I'm missing the sword somehow. Figures. Come onto a stream to show off stuff, and then I can't do anything. Too high. That extension does work. I don't know why I'm even putting Gotenks in, to be honest, if I can't show it off. That's one idea, though, is that you can extend into a snapback at the top of that combo. Adding on to that there. Torturous Conduct. Always good to see you, my friend. Excited for the next tournament that you guys are hosting. And again, like I can't do anything with Gotenks right now. So let's just get my true team on the screen here. I figured it was going to be easier than it was. But nah. Confirm changes real fast. Let's mosey on back in here. So the reason you play Vegito is that you want to do a high damage battery builder in the game that just sets up for some other characters. So what teammates do you want to surround them with? Well, surrounding Vegito with people with characters that give either lockdown assists that then, you know, make Vegito a stronger point character, or mid characters that love to burn and spend meter. That's usually the way that you want to be playing this character. I believe that there's no reason to ever play Vegito as anchor. Like, why would you ever do that? Vegito doesn't really get... He gets, like, crazy damage off of sparking, sure, but because of just how long his combos go on, you don't really get a lot of really good sparking resets, except for a few specific routes that are, like, touch of deaths. You can drop a lot of those. I haven't mapped a lot of those out. And you're not really going to open up like crazy options like, say, Trunks gets off of sparking. So you don't really want Vegito as an anchor of sorts. And tagging into Vegito into the middle of the game when you put the enemy to the corner or stuff like that, it's nice, but you're better off having him as points. Then he can soak up some damage, send in a mid character that wants to spend some meter. Then if they get damage, you can bring Vegito back in, rebuild up the meter, and set the mid up for success. That should be your game plan with Vegito, really. A couple mids that you can do, really. One of my favorites, and the reason I play this character, is Adult Gohan. So, Gohan, he enjoys being a mid character. He's got plenty of strong options, but he's also fairly meter hungry. So, with that, I wonder if I can adjust like the brightness. I just realized how dull the game looks for you guys, but I'll roll with it for now. So with Vegito, for instance, I can build up like 2 bars, close to 2 bars. Let's do it like this. You know, just off of a standard combo of sorts. I can build 2 bars, set it up, and then put Adult Gohan in, you know? So we did that off of, you know, it's like 6k damage. That's actually really good damage. For like a 2M starter with 2 supers. It puts Gohan in, and then this also creates a situation where Gohan gets like a level 1 Oki in the corner mix-up setup. So there's some Oki stuff that you can do with Adult Gohan, but we're not going to talk about that. But it's finding synergy like that within your team. Some other characters that you can put Vegito with. If you're thinking of like the best Vegito player out there, Kaimart, he runs Kid Buu and Teen Gohan, and the reason for that is then you can go into like a mid character that has like that creates a lot of setups for double supers. So then when you do get these big combos and you're building all this meter and then you finally decide to cash out with them, then you can just go into all this super meter and all this extra damage that Vegito built up for you. So things like Kid Buu would be fantastic because when we've seen that, you can go down to Vegito super, then Kid Buu, and then like call him Vegeta, for instance, double Big Bang attack. That's 4 supers right there. You can go into things like Broly, getting a double super off of anyone Broly gives to, which is a lot of the cast. You could go into like Cell and then Bardock. Vegito is just a great battery. If you're a player that likes to play off of your neutral game, tap into that with Vegito, build up a whole bunch of meter with it, and then capitalize on that. Or you can play characters that have to burn meter in order to get like the game plan rolling. Like I think Piccolo, for instance, might not be a bad pairing with Vegito. I don't know like their per DHC synergy, that might be a little on the lower side, but you know, doing Vegito as a battery to set up for a mid Piccolo doesn't seem like a bad idea. It's an option. I'm sure there's better, but it's ideas like that. So you want to use Vegito as a battery to power up your characters that can either set up for a lot of DHCs that give you multiple supers, or set up for a character that wants to consume meter and set them up for success. For me, the way I use it is for Adult Gohan. And now we're going to talk about, because I'm going to talk about how I like to use them for Adult Gohan, I'm going to talk about the different ways to structure the combos for yourself, actually. So, but looking at Vegito's neutral first, before I talk about that, just because I mentioned it's really good, but why is it good? Well, his normals are really good. 5 LL, 7 frame jam, but there's so much lockdown. If the enemy switches sides, the auto combo side corrects pretty well if you space it right, so the enemy can be scrambling around, and then, you know, you can 5 LL whiff and then turn, you know, and even there, like, it covers pretty decent range, you know, it covers pretty decent range. Also, you get some great jumping buttons, like 2L has ridiculous range, and it low crushes, so a lot of people, when they're being pressured, like, I'll set this up for you. No, standing, guard all, counterattack, crouching light. No, that's not going to work, really. There you go. Like in a delayed block string like this, if your enemy likes to do... Oops, that's a counter hit. You know, you can do stuff like that, where it's not going to look like that, but if you create a situation like with your assist and stuff, it would probably look something more like this. Kind of like this. So if your enemy wants to try and take their turn, you can call out a low jab of theirs, a 2M of theirs, with this 2L and crush it, and then go into a full combo. Really fantastic. Another thing that you can do is, I'm going to try and set the enemy here to do... Let's see here. Guard all counterattack settings. It's going to be... Where is Z-Reflect? There it is. Come on. Adios, Dr. Puppet. Always a pleasure to see you. So right here, you can actually... I'm trying to see if I can create this timing. But 2M pretty much comes right in there, and so I have the bot set to block all, but a lot of people, they like to mash deflect, they like to try something out of deflect. So if you get deflected as a Vegito, you can immediately re-engage with a 2M, so it's just always consistent like that, so that's a really great option about that. His 5S and 6S aren't really spectacular in neutral, but there is something kind of cute you can do with it. So say the enemy like super dashes. Enemy, can I set him to do an action of sorts? Enemy settings, guard all, counterattack. Let's look at super dash. You know, if you catch the enemy like trying to approach it by spamming and, you know, they try to go through that with a super dash, then you can just level 3 them. So that's kind of a cute thing you can do with it. Other great things is if you get the enemy snap back in, so, you know, let's get an air combo going real fast. Vegito could solo snap back in the corner. So that allows for some snapbacks by on the zone. And you can use your Atomic Buster in these situations to go for these grabs. So if the enemy's just going to sleep if they're not jumping it or throwing out like a super or anything, you'll catch them and throw them to the ground. And so it's a pretty nice tool to snatch them out of the air. 2S is ridiculous. This will stop a lot of jump ins and stuff. You just got to be careful. There's a lot of recovery lag from it. But round start, pretty safe tool to open up with an assist just to cover all the angles. For instance, that's fantastic. Some of his specials, his split finger shot's alright. Never do this in the air. The enemy likes to super dash at you when you're up there. You don't really have a lot of options for dealing with it. So if you do this, the enemy just supercharges through, you'll get hit. You could kind of use it for some, a few combos, not too many really, as well as some gimmicky pressure reset, but overall, it's serviceable. His barrier's pretty hilarious. It lasts for a long time. So then you're able, if you know your opponent's gonna go for some delayed stuff, you could throw out the barrier and then there's actually confirm off of it. I'll show you later. So it's a pretty decent tool. Don't use it as a reversal though. It's not frame 1, it's pretty slow, and you're gonna eat like any aggressive setup or a Dragon Rush through it. So it's a really hard call out of an option, but it's a tool there for you to really flex with. Also a really safe round starter too. Just doing something like that, calling an assist and going for barrier, it beats like so many setups, like especially aggressive ones. Pretty safe, quick recovery too, so the enemy doesn't really have time to break it. Goes through beam, so, you know, if someone throws out a Kamehameha at you and you're close enough, you'll just, you know, barrier, grab them right through it. Pretty fantastic. So, kicks. Also, actually really great mobility tools. Like this, just the light kick. This can take you a long way, so if you're in the corner, you can kind of do this. And you still get an aerial reaction, so if you just single jump, you can then, you know, you can single jump, then double jump, super dash, something like that. So you got a lot of really good aerial mobility with Vegito. So he just has so many options in the neutral. Also, jump S, great button there. Just catches a lot of people unawares. You can kind of catch people approaching with it. Again, you kind of have to be careful with it, but it's just a really good tool overall. And as you play the game, you'll get a really good feel for Vegito's ranges and what you want to be doing with them. So now let's talk about some of the combos and stuff. Now, there's a when it comes to this, there is a right way and a wrong way to do your Vegito combos. If you're the kind of person that plays Vegito and your combos look like this, you are playing Vegito absolutely wrong. So 4187 damage. This is like pretty much the like a little above standard or average damage for characters that use this kind of combo route, like Goku for instance. Like, if you just do this, you get 4185, so it's like 2 damage more, but that's not even the optimal finisher with Goku. It's right on par, and the meter build's about the same. You're playing Vegito wrong. Stop it. Get off of this character, or relearn this character. What you should be doing with your combos with Vegito is finding ways to hit Jump S, or even 2S. Because it's these buttons, it's these normals that give you that meter build that Vegito is made for. This is the whole point of playing Vegito. So I'm gonna break these down into like mid-screen combos. I'm gonna show you a couple of different examples, and then I'll go into corner combo routes. And then I'm gonna explain something really cool about that, and then we'll talk about some niche conversions. So mid-screen combos, what you should be doing, this is like pretty standard, what you could do. Okay, that one kind of missed, but it's because I don't really practice this one. So the standard combo, I'll say, if you want to get close to the Saiyan combo, looks something like this. Now, I'm doing this dash here and just kind of showing something. So overall, this combo did actually less damage than the 2H version that we saw earlier. But look at my meter. Because of that dash, now there's a sliding knockdown, but as Vegito, you're always going to like run up and go for some pressure. And dashing forward gives you meter in this game, so it's something that you want to do to build up that battery as Vegito. So we did an extra half a bar off of a pretty standard combo. What it looks like is 2M, 5M, jump cancel, jump medium. Medium, light, light. Jump cancel, light, light. Or is 2S just that much higher damage? No. So Torturous Conduct, that's a really good question, actually. He doesn't have different rules for building meter. In fact, it depends on how you structure them. So you saw right there, 2S is the higher... Actually, on the ground, there's a little difference, because yes, 2S has some higher damage. If you want to start learning Vegito, and you want like a beginner combo that plays a Vegito's strengths, this is a really good one. You go medium, light, light, then you do swords, then you can do medium, light, into 2H and medium throw, or even light throw if you want to, but I prefer the medium throw to get that sliding knockdown, because then you can DHC into supers and things like that. So this overall falls like pretty close to the standard Saiyan combo, except you're not doing any 2H jump canceling. You can't unless you're in sparking with Vegito, and you're doing a jump S instead. So you could do this off of jump ins too. Pretty easy, straightforward. And there I actually showed another little trick that you can do with them. That's like the standard combo route. That's if you don't want to burn any meter at all. If you want to play Vegito and go for higher damage, while still building pretty decent meter, then I can show you this route. So you get this far, but then after your medium light up here, you do jump S into medium kicks. Then you can vanish into throw. So this combo does a lot more damage. Now, you do give up a bar of meter, however, you still built up over half of a meter. That's a lot more than characters will do if they're just doing a normal combo and they burn a meter. Like, let's say for Goku, with Goku, for instance. Oops, I can't do my Goku combos right now. So, like, Goku can do this. He does like 5,000, although in fairness, that was like a super. Let's do a super with Vegito. So he did like 5,000 damage, but Vegito, you know, that was like the entire meter we just built gone. Whereas Vegito can do this, he'd get a little less damage, but you have more meter overall. So, and that's like, you know, by character base. And you still built up, I mean, you're a little meter negative here, but you still built up half a bar of meter. So that's kind of nice, so you may want to avoid that. But with this structure here, so at the very top, instead of doing medium light 2H, medium throw, you can do medium light jump S. You'll see that the height of the character, and this is works on all characters, the height of the character, they get thrown down here, and medium spiral heel shot connects. You can let the combo go, but then the enemy's in the air with your aerial options. It's pretty messy. You definitely want to put them back on the ground for Oki and things like that. That's definitely something that you just want to do. So that is something that you can look to do. Hello, Pink Rambo. Always good to see you, my dear. Just working on a little Vegito combo guide. So that is a route that you can go into as well. That's kind of like your starting combo stuff, just knowing those two particular routes. So then you can throw the enemy around and stuff. If you play a team that wants to put the enemy in the corner, like my team, for instance, I love putting people in the corner with this team and then going into some, and then bringing Gohan in, and then having corner Oki with Gohan. So I've structured my Vegito to actually always put the enemy in the corner. So I'm going to do this combo for you, but I'm going to show you that if you do this from that corner, it goes corner to corner. So you've just put the enemy in the corner automatically by doing this particular route if you do vanish into medium throw. So you keep the same side, and you're able to put the enemy in the corner. Vegito himself doesn't get much out of the corner because he doesn't need it for his corner combos. I'll explain why later. And he doesn't really have good high-low mix-up. But, you know, if you have a teammate that wants to have the enemy in the corner, or you like putting the enemy in the corner and then pressuring them with assists, something like that, definitely have that in your tool of boxes. One thing to note about this combo is that if you do, like, light, and you do swords, the medium kicks will whiff. Every time. So you want to do medium, light, jump, light, medium, light, because you want Vegito to be lower than the enemy so that they're high enough for the sword to jank them down. It's a very weird property of the move. And that will set you up for some corner for the medium spiral heel shot. So that's pretty important in your combo structure. Now there's a more advanced, I'll say mid-screen, bread and butter combo for Vegito that's unique to him. So this deviates from the traditional Saiyan combo route. So once you get more comfortable with a character and you want to go into some bigger stuff for him, this is the route that you want to go into. So it looks like this. So there you go. That's kind of what that looks like. Without the meter burn, it would look like this. Actually, I want to do this right. Oh my gosh. Vegito. Take some time to always warm up to you, my friend. What am I doing? There you go. 4287, that does a little higher than average combo damage. It does more damage than the other route I just showed you, and you still get that like bar a meter. So if you close the gap with the enemy truly with the dash forward, you build a bar and a half a meter. So this combo, this is like a 5M starter, but you know, it would look something like this. Then you just do medium light. I do it again. So like 5LL, 5 oh my gosh. Double jump forward. Oh my god. Don't know what it is with me today, fam, but I was doing some Spyro earlier, and I was not platforming at all correctly. Builds a little more meter that way. But it looks like that. So the string looks like, the important thing for you to know is 2M, 5S, 2S. That's a true combo right there. If you do like 2M, 5S, 5S, the 2S is going to whiff. Also, if you do... Okay, that works, that's right. As a note, you can pretty much always do... Whoops. You can pretty much always do a 2M into 2L, 5LL, and then the rest of your combo route. Although it does take away some damage, so if we did that and we did 4270 instead of... Oops. Instead of... No, this is comparable. 4270 right there. Instead of like... Well, that's actually not fair to compare to. Colin, Jesus. So that can add like 200 points worth of damage off of that. So knowing that you can reverse speed from 2L, you know, from 2M into 2L, and then add this extra damage can help you do a lot of damage in combos. This structure, combo structure is better overall for you because there's just several things going on here. So if you notice with the first string, the 2M, 5M series, First off, you know, you get more damage. Second off is where you're carrying the enemy character. Now, if you're playing a team that wants to keep the enemy in neutral, or you want left-right mix-ups, say you're Kaimart's team and you're playing Vegito Kid Blue, and you want to put the enemy in Kid Blue assist mid-screen so then you can go for like left-right mix-ups with IAD, throwing back mid-screen, not the worst thing in the world. If you want to put the enemy in the corner, though, Vegito, without burning meter, really doesn't allow you to do that. But the thing with this combo, this route anyway, it does side switch initially. Jeez Louise, Colin. But then you throw them back. The medium atomic buster throws the opponent so far. So the fact that we're doing a little side switch, but we're not doing so many jump strings, so we're limiting the horizontal movement of this combo. When we do go into that medium throw, we like completely eclipse how much distance we put on there. So we can put the enemy in the corner from this mid-screen pretty well. So this is just a great combo to know if you ever want to change sides. If you're close to the corner, you can modify it too. So say you do something like this. You can just do a second jump string into full light, and then you can go into like your corner combo ender. This gets you more damage, but you do have to end. You do have to end it though with. You do have to end it with some meter though. Well, that's fine, because you build that meter every time anyway. And you have a little excess as well, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But there you go, like 5,000 damage off of that one. So whenever you're in the corner, you can modify it too. That's a lot of things. Based on your positioning on the screen, you have to modify Vegito combos. It happens all the dang time. But now let's talk about the real strength of Vegito. So I say this is mid-screen bread and butter, but it's not really mid-screen bread and butter, because the strength of Vegito, I'm going to show you like his optimized corner combo route right here. So we're going to do it off a 2M starter as well. Medium spiral hill shots, delay double jump. Into throw and then supers. So the strength of this combo, first off, higher than average damage. Off a 2M starter, without even using a super, we did have the burner meter for the vanish. But we got over 5,000 damage off of the ideal starter. Pretty good. Also, we built 2 meters, so even though we are spending a meter to end this combo, we're still up a meter overall. That's really good. And this always means that whenever you do this combo, you can always DHC as well. So if you want to get Vegito out, or you want to bring another character in for some reason, you can always DHC off of this combo. That's pretty fantastic stuff. But the real crazy strength about this combo is that you can do it from mid-screen. That's the real strength of Vegito. If you're at least like true mid-screen, or past mid-screen a little bit, you can go into your corner combo double sword route and build 2 bars a meter, spending 1 for free in any of your combos. And that is fantastic. Now, there is some positional modifiers to it. If you noticed earlier, when I did the corner combo route, here we did this little jump H in there. So you can do this jump H and then connect into the medium spiral hill shot. If you try that mid-screen, nah, the enemy just flies away. You're never gonna hit him. And I'm pretty sure that's also true for the EX version of kicks. Nah, it catches. So you can actually do it off of medium kicks, or heavy kicks rather. Not sure why. I mean, I guess if you wanted just to add that much more damage, like you have a surplus of meter. See, I'm learning things every day with Vegito. I've been playing this character for like ever, and there's still new stuff to learn. Oh, yo, he's got these dialogue lines? Hell yeah. Although, that seems to mess with the height. But I'm getting sidetracked. I'll lab that out a little later. So, for now, don't really worry about EX kicks. They're not really the greatest thing because you're spending a bar to give up building up 2 bars a meter. So you can do medium, heavy, medium kicks. And now, you can, like, IAD forward. In fact, I wonder how consistent that is across the cast. Looks pretty good with Kid Buu. Let's try out our friend Bardock, everybody's favorite. Now with Bardock, as you see here, he gets a little too high with that. What's going on there? Well, Vegito has some timing things with these combos. Here we go. If I do it immediately, though, we get it pretty well. So your timing has to be strict. So there's two different ways of doing it. You can either delay double jump into light, light, light. This is all auto combo. Like you see in my inputs, I'm just pushing the light button. You want the auto correction from it to get the right height for then the sword to push the enemy down, fling the enemy up, so then the height's all correct for the medium kicks to land. Let's test it out with Android 16 as well. We kind of got through our standard. Right here we see that 16's height didn't really change, so he flew out. Let me see if I can modify it, get the timing right. Oops, that was bad. So yeah, if you do it immediately, you can do it. So so you can basically do it either way. If you want to delay double jump, learn that timing like I have, go for it. If you just want to look and immediately IAD, that's fantastic. For online play, I think delaying is a little better just because it could be hard at times to get that really tight timing for the IAD forward. It used to be easier pre-patch on a spiral heel shot, but it's still doable. So that's something to note there. Then another big note too, say you start with a jump in like this, and you're doing all these hits. Why do they fall out there? This is a result of Vegito's combos being so long, and having so many hits. The hit stun value decays really quickly with Vegito, so you kind of have to make the combos short, even though none of his combos are really short. So if you ever get a jump in like this and you convert with 5LL, always go for light kicks. Basically, my rule of thumb is if you're doing a corner combo and you're ever scared of, have I hit the enemy too much for medium kicks to connect, just end it with spiral, just end it with light kicks. You're sacrificing a little bit of damage just to guarantee the hit, and that's totally fine. Better that than dropping the combo. So if you're ever in doubt, just light kicks at the end of your corner combo route. That's just a really good rule of thumb. There are some specifics, like if you do this, like I took out the 5LL part of it. Medium kicks connects, for instance. I took out one hit in that combo, but that's something for you to lab out and really optimize and find out what inputs and strings that you like to do in your combo. So that's how that really happens. So that's the biggest strength of Vegito, is that your corner combos can be done from the mid-screen, giving you that extra bar, that extra damage. And so that's where Vegito's strengths really shine. Basically, if you're ever, like, say, this point facing that way on screen, then you want to go into your side switching route. Oops, kind of messed up there. But you know, you could either go into this route here and put him in the corner this way, or you can go into and then you can go into corner this way, or throw him back in mid-screen, play the neutral. A lot of choices for you, my friends. A lot of choices exist for you. So it's up to you really what you want to go for. If you're going for optimal damage though, always look into doing this version right here. And then either end it with the variant where you end with the jump S, or you go into 2H and do the backwards throw. So those are kind of some of his combos. Those are the bread and butters that you need to be learning. They're few, but there's a lot of screen-specific adjustments that you have to make in order to get them through. Let me go ahead and look what else is there really to do. Some random conversions I want to discuss. So off a barrier, I'm going to set Android 16 to counterattack light, guard all. So off a vanish like this, it looks like this. Ah, a little hard. Build quite a bit of meter off of that, but I need at least one bar to start. So you can end it like this and then burn another bar for damage. Or you can do something like this. I forget to put a bar or meter on Vegito. I'm gonna just fix that in training settings right now. And then go for a throw, putting it back in mid-screen, whatever you want, really. But that's how you want to convert it. So the conversion looks like this, or breaking it down. On the ground, you go 2M, 2L, 5LL, 6H after 5H, or 6S after 5H. Then you do super dash, medium, light, light, jump cancel, medium, light. Then either 2H, medium throw, or medium light jump S, medium kicks into vanish or super. That's what that looks like. That's the optimized damage route for converting off of barrier. It's actually really cool, and this is actually something you can use too. If you ever somehow snipe someone with this, I need to turn off not that setting, but this setting. 5S or 6S into Super Dash is, it's a guaranteed combo. So that's always a cool thing to know too. So you can always use that for some wacky conversions. If you ever burn up your smash property, you bring it back to the ground and then use 5H, you can go into that. One sparking combo that I know personally looks like this. Need to remember it. I don't do this like ever. It's just one of those tools in my repertoire. Just because the conversion is a little whack at times. Oops. So you see here, we do... There we go. Now we're getting there, boys. This is one route I know. I think it is less damage than a route that Clayton came up with. So that's an example of a sparking combo. You do a lot of damage, but the problem is that you don't really, like, going that, just weird, at least to me. And a weird thing to note too, so watch the hit count. So say I do 2M, 5S, or 2M, 5H, 5S, split finger shot. 7 hits. 7 hits. 8 hits. What's going on here? Well, if you ever do these corner combo routes with sparking, doing 6S, because it's actually like a farther button of sorts, it juggles the enemy differently, so you'll actually get like an extra hit of the split finger shot on them. This works for like across the entire cast too. Kid Buu, 6 hits. Small characters, they missed one. 7 hits now, because I did 6S. So if you're ever doing corner combo routes like this, and you're doing like 5H into an S button, just like standing S, do 6S in the corner, it juggles the enemy differently and sets up for a split finger shot. That's just a weird property. That's just something I want to point out. That's just really whack stuff. So if you're trying to do a touch of death combo and it's not working, that's probably why. Then you can always IAD forward too. This builds up extra meter, gets you an extra heavy hit. Timing's a little stringent with it. I'm not going to dwell too much on this one. There are plenty of combos, combo videos and stuff for you to look at too, so I highly recommend that you can look some of those up. I'll try and find a few, link them in the description on the YouTube VOD. So that's just always something that you can look out for as well. But Vegito has some really cool sparking combos. When you're in sparking, don't know why I did that actually. But you can jump cancel your 2H, that gets you some new routes. You can't do that with outside of sparking. And you can also do something like this. I'm trying to think of how to do this actually. It's like I looked at this combo the other day, so it's a little off for me. But you can do some crazy stuff. You can jump cancel 5SS as you just saw there, so that's always something very cool to know. So that can change up your combo routes a bit. Again, I'm going to link you to some combo videos, that's where a little more pertinent for the purposes of that kind of stuff. So But yeah, that's some potential things you can do with Vegito there as far as combo structure goes. Your bottom line, though, is to start off with your bread and butter where you're using at least one sword in your combos. Get used to the game and practice converting into your corner combo route from mid-screen and getting a feel for the ranges on all the maps, because that's gonna level up your Vegito so much. And then at a point, then start getting used to the unique Vegito route, the sword side switch route, as I'll call it. Because that does more damage than the usual, or the close to Saiyan bread and butter combo route. So one thing to note about Vegito's assist, it's pretty weak overall. It's not the best assist in the game. The enemy can super dash through it really quickly. So if people know this, it will look something like this. You know, so they come out pretty fast. So like, say I'm doing like a block string here. You know, like, he came out, like, immediately. So if I try and do, like, pressure here, you know, he countered me there because I went for a low or something. You can try and call this out with, like... So you can call people out with like a 5M, you know, buttons like that. It does still put you positive on frame, but just be careful like trying to reset pressure with a low, because some people, they'll know that they don't actually have to really respect that button if you go for a low, so they might try and super dash through it. Other than that, it's a pretty decent neutral tool. It can just catch out the enemy moving around a little bit. And it's also really good for combo extensions. So something like this. For instance, that extension right there is the basis for this handy-dandy combo. And if you have a character that Vegito can double super off of, works pretty well. There you go, a little Gohan Touch of Death using Vegito assist, as well as Goku's upward Kamehameha to DHC. So that's a character synergy that Vegito has. I can't really speak too much on other character synergies just because I haven't seen every Vegito team ever. But that's just an example of some of the crazy synergies that you can get with it. The assist, it's decent, it's usable, but it's not crazy lockdown. It's more of a neutral assist. So, and because his assist is weaker, that's why you want Vegito on point and not really as anchor. He's not like Goku, where like the Kamehameha is great for block pressure, it's great for neutral, it's great for combo extensions. It's not like that at all. So you definitely want to have Vegito on point to build up that battery. So, anyways, my friends, that's pretty much all that I have for the Vegito guide. Those are some of the combos I use. That's the overall game plan with Vegito. As a reminder there, though, you want to be using Vegito's unique combos so that you can build up meter and really use the advantages of the character. You can take advantage of a lot of special properties of Vegito. Again, he has a solo snapback in the corner, so you can always go into Dragon Rush stuff. Basically, if you're doing a combo outside of Spartan combos that I haven't shown you in this video, odds are they're not optimized. I've been like optimizing this character for months. I know that people have tried to do something like combos where you do like this. Oh no, it's it looks like. See, I don't practice these combos at all. You know, we didn't build as much meter right there, so we should have broken 4 bars of meter, 5687 with a super, as opposed to... Why did I not do that right? Hold on. Let my brain sort this out. $57, so, you know, more damage in this route, and that's without even doing something like this. Oops. Using the 2M2L extension. And you can always react to the height change in characters. Although careful there, because if you do that, looks like they fall out. So if the enemy's ever at that height, just cut out the second sword and do kicks. You want that to end. That's another cool note to have, so that's another spoiler note. Let's Let's see if there's anything else in my notes that will jog my memory real fast. Use Vegito for that crazy meter build, whatnot. There's actually something I wanted to mention super badly, and I can't think of it. Oh yeah, so enemies will a lot of time get used to you pushing 5L, so any like non-invincible frame 1 button, like 5L eats up. Like a Cell Perfect attack, they try that stuff, this will eat that. So if a character doesn't have a reversal, just running up to them, meaty 5L will snuff out like all their options except for like a reversal level 3 reversal DP. So that's a fantastic button. Once people start respecting that, you can catch them a lot with throws. Just because they're holding block, they might not be looking for the tech. Again, it's not the strongest mix-up in the game, but that's not the point of Vegito. He's a fantastic character without mix-up. His 6M is also really good. Unless the enemy has like a 6 frame to challenge you, they can't actually take the turn with their 7 frame. This beats all clashes in the game, as I'm sure many of you are aware of. And then they also can't backdash it. So I'm going to set the enemy to... Can I set them to backdash? Backstep, yeah. So if I do guard all, let's say I do vanish, 5LL will catch their backdash. So on vanish, they can't backdash against you, so they have to take that button. That's pretty fantastic. Off of 6M as well, okay, they can kind of get away. Yeah, off of 6M, they can get away. But you can chase them down, something like that if you wanted to. But yeah, they have to really respect those. That was a true block string, I guess. I don't know why he couldn't block there. Oh, he tried to backstep. That was it. He tried to backstep. That's what was going on. So that's another cool thing to note right there with those. So overall, Vegito is a fantastic character. He's really fun to play. He's got crazy buttons in neutral. He's got a lot of mobility options too. You can do some sub stuff within 2. Off of his throws, where you can go for like IADs to chase the enemy down. You can kind of go for falling stuff. Actually, I wanted guard first only. So you can go for like, you know, a overhead right there if you wanted to. There's not really any lows or things going on like that anywhere. But you can go for like this little, like a sword switch up there. So there's potential mix-up options off of the throw. You can also use it to get out. If you ever do like a 2H and it's blocked, your best choice is to just like jump right the hell out of there. You can even go for this key blast there. Beats a lot of those. I'm gonna actually see if it beats like Bardock's. Yeah, so that's like a pretty safe block. It's not a true block string, so they could vanish it, but that will keep you safe. It will bait out a lot of the options that people will go for, so that's a way to keep things safe. If you want to end combos in a way that resets you back to neutral, you can never go wrong with ending with the kicks. It puts you pretty far away from them. You can also end things by doing 5H into 5S, or 5S into 5H. That will catch people sleeping sometimes, so that's always a cool thing to note too. But yeah, overall, that's kind of how things go with Vegito. So I want to shout out to all the people joining me on Twitch. Thank you, Dr. Puppet and Pink Rambo, as well as Torturous Conduct, for the wonderful questions and the comments in chat. Always good to hear from you. To those of you watching this on YouTube, I hope you learned something from the guide. If you have any additional questions, things like that, or things you want to point out, I always love learning more about my favorite character in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Just shout them out in the comments section, my friends. Always appreciate that. My name is CD Mangaka, a Colorado FGC competitor, so thank you all so much for that. I'm going to do a short little break, but I'll be right back with some ranked streams for you, my friends.